All right. Yes. We made it. Let those notifications go out, everybody. Yeah, we made it, and I am playing around with the lights and all of that. Yeah, to figure out what works best. And so while that's taking place, yeah, we got a message that kind of dovetails off of a previous message that we got up here and delivered real quick about do-over season. And so it goes right in line with that because there's a lot to unpack with that. Because it doesn't mean, again, remember, do-over season does not mean you're starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. Like, you've learned lessons. You got to take those with you into the next season, and then all the lessons that you continue to learn in each season, take with you going forward. So as you're doing that, God said, we got to rejuvenate. Got to rejuvenate. And we're going to look up the definition. We're going to discuss what that means. Well, I mean, of course, you know the word, but we know rejuvenate, refresh, revive, right? All of that goes into this. So let's do our usual as we are patiently awaiting everybody to come on and join us. When God says it's time to rejuvenate, okay, it's time to rejuvenate. And join us. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's time to rejuvenate. It's time to get that rest. It's time to start eating healthier. If you haven't done so, some of y'all may need to start the detox process. All kinds of things. Because God needs us to be ready. He needs us to be ready for the next level up. In order for us to be ready for the next level up, we need to be in good health, good physical shape. So we got to rejuvenate. So I am Michelle Dickey, your host for CHA Motivational Monday Show, streaming on the YouTube channel Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance, where trauma healing and spiritual growth are front and center while combating radio frequency for healthier living. That's right. Healthier living. Ooh, rejuvenate. Rejuvenate. Because he said, yes, God says he's going to restore. So he's going to restore it all. But we got to walk, right, we're walking the walk. God's guiding our steps. So are we going to go pick up that bag of Doritos? Or are we going to go over there and say, you know what? I think I'd rather have some baked crackers with no salt added. How about that? Because we can put peanut butter on that. No sugars added. And no high fructose corn syrup. That kind of stuff. Better choices. Part of the rejuvenation process. Making better choices. For example, right now, I got superfood going. We got zucchini, we got yellow squash, we got carrots, we got broccoli, and we got fresh basil. Woo! We're going to put a little onion powder in there, some garlic powder, a couple dashes of cayenne pepper for that circulation. See, that kind of stuff to rejuvenate. The body needs that rejuvenation because that helps to replenish our energy that we're going to need. God said, yeah, he said, I'm taking you. He said, remember, the last shall be first and the first shall be last. Ain't nothing going to be able to keep chosen one at the back of the line forever. No. God said, not my chosen one. We take them from there and we moving them. Okay, they might go to the middle for a little bit. All right, because God's getting us ready. We got to rejuvenate. And then boom, it's going to put us right there. Yep, right there. Within the top 5. Meeting the first. No longer in the back. No longer hiding back there. But God's going to hide us in plain sight, even up here now, mind you. Because these narcissists, the evildoers out here, they can't see. Their demon spirit can see the Jesus walking through it. But the human host cannot. The human host, let me tell y'all something. This matrix, all they care about is money. If you haven't heard me say it, well, now you're going to. The system of narcissism does not care what you do as long as it puts money in its pocket. Be smart about it, though. Rejuvenate. Changing that thinking. That's all part of the rejuvenation process. Yes, to change that thinking. And the mindset shift. For example, okay? All right, let's say you have gone through a season of, all right, you know what? This is healed. That's healing. Let's say you got a few bruises here and there. They go away. They're healing. Okay, they're healing. But you've experienced a little bit of muscle soreness. But you're a pretty avid walker, right? Let's say you are pretty good with your aerobics, if that's what you like, whatever your workout routine is, shift that mindset. Okay, you know what? I'm back into weight training. Ooh, 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 we got to go walk it out. Walk it out. Stretch and walk it out. Okay? That's part of rejuvenating. All right? You got to rejuvenate. Get that body right. Get that body right. Get that circulation going for additional healing. To change that thinking. Say, you know what? Well, I'm not healing from that. This for me too. This for some of y'all, but for me, it's like, I ain't healing from no physical assault anymore. We already done healed from that. He said, no, we got to feed these muscles some more protein and some potassium. We got to stretch. We got to make sure we're breathing. You know, I mean, we are, but you know what I'm talking about. When you exercise, you got to make sure you get oxygen to those muscles, right? You got to move, right? You got to move. You got to rejuvenate. That's all part of it. Everything in its season, right? That's it. So, what you got to do that. Rejuvenating is but keeping fresh. All right, let's look at what the definition says. Okay, we're going to look that up real quick. Because, oh yeah, it's interesting to find out. Well, you know, because the Matrix like to change definitions of things from time to time. So, well, yeah. Okay, rejuvenate. It says to restore to youth or appearance. To make young again. Ooh, like that, don't we? All right, to restore to an original or new condition. So you don't have like rejuvenate an old piece of furniture, right? Like they refabricate it to make it look, you know, give it a new look, give it a fresh appearance. See, some of y'all go rejuvenate with a makeover. Ooh, that's for somebody. And then it also means to stimulate. Okay, okay, I don't know. Okay, to stimulate, to renew erosive activity as by uplift of the land. Wow. That was word salad. Okay, but to restore. To restore, yeah. All right, to restore to a youthful vigor or appearance. Meaning, when we rejuvenate, chosen one, that we naturally do that though. Remember, our empathy allows us to re-energize. This is why. Yeah, this is why nothing can keep chosen one down. And then you got to think about rejuvenating with nutrition, right? You got to get your vitamins, you got your minerals. And yeah, listen, remember these Motivational Monday shows are structured for advertising. Now, there are going to be moments where if I don't get to 3, I will definitely get to at least 2. Okay? For those who don't know, because I have to keep these structured. And remember, we always put these together and we do this as if we're reaching a new viewer, because we are every single day. Y'all, we are reaching a new fellow spiritual warrior for Christ every single day. You better trust and believe that. Okay, well, yeah, the rejuvenate all natural. Okay, God said to rejuvenate naturally. All right, we don't go out there trying to get no daggone surgeries and crazy making stuff like that. No, 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 no. And to change it up a bit, to rejuvenate, get some rest, right? Rest and relaxation, R&R. And it is mandatory for keeping fresh and fighting the good fight. Because your spirit needs to rejuvenate sometimes too. Stay. But as we continue to stay busy and doing, then yeah. Yes, God is a God of all natural. Yes, God is a God of all natural to rejuvenate. When God says to rejuvenate, he's talking about all the way around. He says he's going to restore. Remember, God said restore. Right? Rejuvenate means to restore to a youthful vigor. So when God does that, you got to remember something. Chosen one, let me clue you in on a little something that God revealed to me about aging. Well, it is a mindset. But I will tell y'all something. that if your circulation is not getting right to places in your face, your neck, your arm, things like that, well then yeah. But if you stay active and your circulation is getting where it needs to go, you better believe there is, I discovered air pockets in the face. Oh yeah, they there. I was on my walk this morning, right? Because we rejuvenated, right? We walking. We are rejuvenated. Okay? Yeah, we are rejuvenating. We're relaxing. We're resting and relaxing at the same time. We're catching up, right? Rejuvenation also means to catch up. If you had something happen, like for a couple of days that you felt a little bit jet lagged, right? Like you're not tired, but you're just like, wow, because it didn't upset anything, but like this move from one unit to the other, it was really fast. Like I said, this is the quickest move I've ever made in my life that I can think of. Anyhow, like literally overnight. Well, in this season, in this reality, in God's reality, okay, it's the quickest one I've ever made. But anyhow, it's crazy too, because God is restoring everything twice as fast. See, every time the devil tried to get in the way of our progress, God's like, yeah, okay, you know what? I was like, you know what? They're going to try to do that, trying to stress you out, trying to get you to step out of character, trying to get you to complain. I'm going to tell you something. Yes, the Matrix is a ripoff. We're not stupid. Remember, God said, lest Satan should get an advantage, advantage on us. No. We're not ignorant to his devices. We know that they're out here because the Matrix had the demon of greed all over them, right? These companies and property managers and stuff, not managers, but property management companies and stuff like that. They all about the money. That's all they care about. They got the love of money. Remember, the love of money is the root of all evil. God knows we need money to pay bills and things like that. But you got to think about the bills that we're paying. Why they cost the way they do, right? Why? Because I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, I know that there was a service that I used for during this move, and God revealed it to me this morning. He said, yeah, we got ripped off. We sure did, because of the deposit that I made that was supposed to go toward. So you know what? Scratch them off the list. We will not be using their services again. Lesson learned. Be not deceived again and again and again. It takes a while to learn of the deception. Like I said, though, I mean, the guys were great. Don't get me wrong. They did the job and everything like that. But the company overcharged. Big time. Big time. And did not hold up to their promise based on the deposit. So basically, they stole the deposit. Yeah. But anyhow. Nonetheless. Right. And they didn't have used no boxes. And I'm pretty sure I still got charged for those. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to know that, nope, I will not be recommending them, and I will not be using their services again. That's it. Be not deceived. That's part of the rejuvenation process as well. Okay, hi, Cindy. Welcome, everybody. Yes. And I didn't know it at the time because things were just do. Remember, that's how the devil operates. Catch you off guard, get you a little bit jet lagged, so you're not able to really think quite as clearly, because you know it's like, okay, I just had to get everything in here, blah, 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 blah. They did their job. This is what they're gonna, and I didn't even think about the deposit to ask. You know what I'm saying? So after the fact, I have time to analyze and go, wait a minute. Now, I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, oh, I see what they did. But I know God's going to, because we recognize the lesson and we know that it was deception. We got ripped off by that company, and it's not going to happen again. I said, oh, that's the last time. That's the last time. So we've got a plan of action going forward. What we're going to do if I ever need to. Well, I'm going to, when it comes time to get my house, of course I'm going to have to hire some helpers. But you know what we're going to do? Yeah, we're not going to do no big company in the Matrix with their greed. I would rather find a mom and pop place or just some local hustlers, if you will, who's not going to rip you off. So anyhow, but that's how that goes. We learn lessons, everybody. No, I don't. But listen, Chris, do not. No. That's cognitive dissonance talking. That's cognitive dissonance talking. Because of short notice, what? Sometimes they charge extra for short notice. That is bull. That is bull. That's wrong. Because moving, no. When people got to move, sometimes it is short notice. That's not an uncommon thing. It happens. No. Don't let cognitive dissonance excuse that kind of behavior. There was no reason for that. They had plenty of time. They had just under 24-hour notice. When I called, and she was like, well, I do have some availability tomorrow. Oh, okay, you do, then that'll work. Right, it's not like I just said as quickly as possible. I did not set a date or anything like that. They're the ones that told me they had the next day available. Okay, I'll take it. If they didn't have anything available until Saturday, then that would have been fine too. So no, that's cognitive dissonance talking. Short notice? No, that's bull honky. Because people got to move on short notice frequently. So companies, if they're charging extra because it's such short notice, No, you're supposed to be ready. You're a moving company. You know people got to move sometimes like lickety split. You better be ready. That's all I got to say. You know how God said you got to get ready. He got to rejuvenate us to get us ready. You see? But yeah, I'm sharing that with y'all. To let y'all know. And to let the devil know, I see you. I see you. Oh yeah, there was another little ripoff that went on. But I'm not going to get into detail about that one. We learned another deception. It's all good. See, once we learn of the deception, we're like, okay, heightened awareness, y'all. That's what it's all about. Because God said, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Anytime they do that, they're trying to mock God. Well, guess what? God's going to take care of that. And he already has. He's going to take care of all of it. Anyone who tries to mock God's chosen one, they're going to meet. They're going to have a bad day. Yeah, it's not going to be a very good day for them. If they're trying to mock God's chosen one. Because God is not mocked. And so we learn not to be deceived over and over and over again because the matrix is full of it. Because, my gosh, I mean, why you could, listen, I know how much it costs to have one of our t-shirts printed up. But I do have to cover, I got to cover the shipping. When I price these things out, I got to cover the shipping, right? I got to include shipping in the price. Otherwise, I lose money. Right? Okay, so since that, and I'm like sitting here going, okay, and for the brand name, okay, the brand names that we use, like Gilead, yeah, we use some of the high quality stuff. And I don't charge near what if you go into one of these other name brand stores and they're using the same kind of fabric, let's say Gilead, and they're charging twice what I'm charging. Come on now. Really? That's what I'm talking about. And this is not complaining. This is awareness. This is like we're paying attention to this stuff. But see, the Matrix teaches people that if it costs more, that means it's better. Just like cheaper doesn't mean it's better. Same thing applies to just because it's more expensive doesn't mean it's better. We have found that out the hard way, chosen one, when we bought things that we thought, okay, you know what? Well, that must be better quality than if it's a little more expensive than this one. And we found out that the opposite can be true as well. It's all part of the rejuvenation process of the mind. Renewing of the mind. What do you think is going on as our mind is being renewed? We're being rejuvenated. The mind is being rejuvenated. Right? It's being renewed. So that we can be transformed into a more vigilant and aware chosen one. So we don't continue to allow the enemy into our finances where he don't belong. But see, we're like, okay, you know what? Lesson learned. God's going to bring it back 100-fold. I declare and decree for all of us, okay, who have discovered the deception. I declare and decree that God is going to restore all of our finances 100-fold in Jesus' name. Amen. Better believe it. Because Jesus even tells us all of those Okay, all of us who forsake all, we forsake all for his name, will receive 100-fold. We'll learn these lessons because we're not going to allow that to happen again. There you go. Thank you. They do. Moving companies, they would get short notice all the time. There you go. Right? Mm-hmm. No, this right here, as far as the property management company, no. 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 That's not how we fight the spiritual battle, Chris, fellow warriors. I know it seems like that would be our go-to, like, you know what, like trying to see if we're going to get them back. Cause, no, because this is my stuff, it's my responsibility. Okay? Y'all are going to find out a lot because there's another case study that's been going on this entire time I've been here. But I'm not talking any more about it right now. I have my notes, and I continue to take those notes as things unwind. Okay, so we are conducting another case study, and a rather large one to boot. But that is not the, no, I understand that it would seem that way. And sure, even the old me would be like, well, fine, well, no. That's not the way to handle it. Like a mature adult, it's like, no, we're not sitting here and just like taking it or anything. But God told me, he said, yeah, this is the last time. He said, that little fiasco, he said, it ain't going to happen again. Because we're not going to let it happen again. You understand? That's right. Just like the Jezebel case study when we closed. He said, that's the last time. Because we ain't going to let it happen again. It's called awareness. Once we're deceived, we're like, okay. And we're aware of it, not happening again. I know you do get a little hot-headed. I think, you know what? And it is natural for some of y'all. And I think it's a male thing. I don't know. Some females too. But I know that when it comes to, learning that you got ripped off, it does tend to light a fire, so to speak. However, we don't have the love of money. I understand that it's the ethical side that gets to us the most. I know that. Okay? And that's really the money side. You know what? God's always providing. God's going to restore all that. So we learned the lesson. Okay? So we learned the lesson. And God's going to restore all that. But yeah, we can't let the hothead take over when you learn that, you know what? Because it's part of the rejuvenating process. The renewing of the mind. So we got to let God do what God does. And, just seriously, and I know, the feeling of being ripped off does raise the heckles a bit. Unethical is the right word. Yeah, the way that all the things that went down was a bit unethical, yes. But they won't see it that way. You understand? Because the Matrix sees things opposite, right? They call things ethical that are not. They think the way they handled it was ethical because they were calm and cool and collected. They followed the company guideline, policies, and procedures for handling such. So they think everything they did is ethical. Okay, they don't see it any other way. They can't. Remember, they got the Matrix blinders on. All right, you got to remember that. So, as we understand that part, we continue to rejuvenate. How are we going to rejuvenate? Oh, like I said in the beginning, it's all about, new thing. Doing a new thing. Making better choices diet-wise. Right? Making better choices for your diet. Making better choices for your lifestyle. And some of y'all might need to detox. Like we've been doing. Okay, we've been doing a detox. And so how do you do that? Stay tuned, all right? You're about to learn how you can detox from trauma, right? And this quick, short video ad, stay tuned about the rejuvenation, more about the rejuvenation process when we come back.
Are you tired of feeling sluggish and ready to take back control of your health? CHA Academy, BTBW.com has a course for you. CHA Academy's How to Detox from Trauma Nutrition course will provide you with fundamental tools and information to help you overcome traumatization from radio frequency poisoning and narcissistic abuse. We are subjected to toxicity from radio frequency and narcissism daily. Detoxing from the trauma is part of CHA's combat against radio frequency poisoning for healthier living. You can learn more about the How to Detox from Trauma Nutrition course at CHAacademybtbw.com and clicking on all courses. The link to the academy is also listed below for quicker access. I look forward to seeing you at CHA Academy, where iron sharpens iron with fellow spiritual warriors for Christ. Sending love and light always.
Yeah, that's for them for them ethical is being crafty with getting a profit. There you go. That's all the Matrix cares about is their profits. Okay, we're chosen one. All we want is for you all to continue to get the heightened awareness you need. So we bring you the deception as part of the rejuvenating process, the renewing of the mind. Because that's the only way that we're going to get that heightened awareness is to know, hold on a second. You know, that's how they get one over on us sometimes. And we're like, wait a minute. Because, see, the enemy had to do things like that because you have to move so fast. Never forget how the narcissists do the same thing, right? Because they know that if we have enough time to sit there and think for a moment with a level of clarity, that we're going to catch on. See, that's the thing. Okay, we might not have caught on right then and there because of it being a little bit jet lagged. But this time going forward, if we ever find ourselves feeling jet lagged for whatever reason, it won't be for that reason. But if we find ourselves feeling a little bit jet lagged again, we're going to be like, hold up a second. Okay, we're going to be aware that we're experiencing that. Okay, we're going to be aware of that. And then if anything else tries to catch us off guard, go, wait a second. I understand we're experiencing this, but whoa. Remember, God said, right, during the end time, that we are going to look narrowly upon thee, meaning the devil and his flying monkeys. Is this the one who causes the earth to tremble? You know, the earth flow rumble. Yeah, so you can learn more about that on the Patreon channel. See, we're all about the real world connection to the spiritual realm and God's reality. And that's also part of the rejuvenating process. So rest, relaxation, making better choices food-wise for healthier living. Remember, we're pushing back against radio frequency for healthier living. And then also, okay, better choices overall with lifestyle, breaking bad habits, doing more things that will please God. Okay, bringing God's spiritual truth as we grow and mature together. That's why when I see y'all and I understand where you're coming from and I appreciate it, but we cannot, God says be slow to wrath. Okay, we cannot allow our ego or anything, we cannot get hot-headed, which would be like, okay. You might have got that over on me this time, but you won't ever do it again, I guarantee you. Because I hear the Lord say the last time. I hear the Lord say this will be the last time. It ain't going to happen again. Because we're not going to let it happen again. The power and authority is on the inside of the chosen one. Once you become aware of the deception, we're not going to fall for it again. Oh, I keep getting those spam emails. All these people want all these, oh, we're a new startup company and we want to collab. No. Big and up. Because they're selling products that don't align with this ministry. That's part of the rejuvenating process. That awareness, you got to pay attention. When I get an email and somebody wants to collab and it's some product, whatever, it's a stainless steel. I already got a tumbler. Thank you. We're good. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to promote your product. This is a ministry about trauma healing and spiritual growth. Do they not even take a look at the description of the channel? Apparently not. But no, all they see is a pretty face and a voice to carry and an opportunity to maybe deceive us. It goes in the spam folder. I ain't falling for that. I said, no. No. See, that's the thing. I learned early on. Oh, for somebody who might need this, if you're starting a YouTube channel, okay, because all YouTube channel, we all start out. Okay, everybody gets started. When you're first getting started, let's say you've got, a couple thousand subscribers, and you start getting those spam emails. They want to collab. They want you to promote their product on your small YouTube channel. A lot of times those are scams. In fact, I had one of the YouTube gurus tell me that, well, he tells everybody he's in a video. Okay, and a lot of those scammers target the smaller YouTube channel because they think we have the demon of desperation, and we don't. We know that great things take time, and we are growing, and we feel the increase each and every single day. We've been feeling the increase since we got here. We've been feeling the increase since we launched the website. We've been feeling the increase since we started this ministry in 2019 on Quora. Let that sink in. Yes, this ministry started in 2019 on Quora. That's how long we've been around. And we're still just getting started. We're still just getting started. And so, as we continue rejuvenating them, right? You get a makeover, right? You can get a makeover. You get a whole body makeover. Like a whole body workout. Rejuvenation, right? A part of that renewing of the mind. Because that transformation is taking place, chosen one. It is the rejuvenating process. Transformation, right? You're being restored to a youthful vigor. Glory be to God. So, right, it took advantage. Right, exactly. The matrix will take advantage of whoever believe is in. Right, they think that you're desperate. They don't realize we're not desperate. It's just that the one that, yeah, they are. I'm not. You heard the kids in the background on the playground in that one, huh? It's cute, yeah. But yeah, lesson learned, okay? And so when we realize that they took advantage of us, we don't allow them to do it again. That's part of the renewing of the mind, getting that awareness. And there you go, staying true to God's word and guidance, absolutely 100%. So, okay, the earth low rumble about 2:30 in the morning for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, well, that happened every once in a while. That happened. And, well, yeah, I mean, I hear it as I'm getting up and getting my tea and things like that. I hear it for a decent part of my mornings usually when I get up. And then I get going and I start working on whatever it is God needs us to work on and things like that. Like I had to readjust my curtain, stuff like that. Well, yeah, I mean, if y'all, let's see, I gotta make sure I go the right way. Okay, no, that's not the right way. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Oh, that's the right way. Hold up. That's my bookshelf and stuff. See the curtains over there? There you go. My curtain. Okay. My curtain. Yeah, I had to do some readjusting. I had to rejuvenate them. I had to move the hooks. Yeah. Those are, yeah, and they're blackout, but they're beige. It matches the decor over there. So, yeah. Been working on that. But, just figured I'd share that with y'all. And, as we rejuvenate, not just the apartment, but our bodies too. Remember, water. Got to rejuvenate with this water too. And when God says to rejuvenate, a number of things, it could be reorganizing. Get reorganized, declutter. That's part of the rejuvenation process. Decluttering. Yeah, decluttering, getting rid of things that no longer serve. You hear me talk about this a lot for a reason, because if you're still hanging on to stuff that no longer serving a purpose in the kingdom of God, then it's time to go. You know, certain things that we're no longer using. Now, there are some things that God will have us get, and if we find out, okay, well, we're not necessarily, that's not going to serve what we were thinking at this particular moment. However, and I ended up getting something because it was on my spirit. So I got it, and I was like, okay. And then I go and I look at it, and it's a certain plug-in part to it. Doesn't go into the, like an adapter. I said, okay, that's the wrong plug-in. And I said, so what am I going to do? I've got to take this back. And I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, don't do that. He said, put it in that tote, because we'll need it later. Okay. So that happened. And I'm like, all right, see, this is how God has us get things. This is why I tell y'all a lot. For those of you wondering, again, seriously, rejuvenate, change that thinking. Right? Got to rejuvenate that mind, renewing of the mind. You got to think outside the box. Chosen ones can think outside the box because, well, we got to. And I know some of y'all sitting there wondering if you've got what you need to get started with whatever it is that God had you working on or needs you to work on. He showed you, he introduced you to your purpose, and now you're like, okay, but what do I have enough to get started? And I'm going to tell you, yes, you do, because I just shared with you how he does that. I was like, okay, I got this particular item. It isn't going to work in this season. He said, yeah, but hang on to it. It's going to work for a future season, because he already showed me the vision. I said, oh, okay. And so he had me go online, and I ordered another one, a different one. And he said, okay, that one's going to work. All right. When it gets here, we can work on that project. In the meantime, that's what I'm saying. You got to look inside your tote. Look inside, whatever. Look in your attic. Look in your basement. Look in a storage unit. Looking through everything. Okay. You know what God revealed to you. That's your purpose, right? He introduced you to your purpose. So now you're rejuvenated, renewing of the mind. And you're like, do I have what I need to get started? Oh, yeah. You're going to have at least 3 things that you can utilize already on hand to get started. It's going to be right there. Yeah. It's going to be right in front of you. It might, like I said, it might be in a drawer. It might be in a tote. It might be in a closet somewhere and you haven't thought of it for several years. Ooh, who am I talking to? Yeah. Let's say God revealed to you that you need to start drawing again. And you have some pencils and drawing paper and things like that you kind of put on the back burner because of an evildoer, narcissist, right? A dream of yours. But you still have the stuff. For example, singing and songwriting, y'all. Yeah. There's a reason why all of my songs and tapes and things, everything that's been copyrighted and then some, has stayed with me all this time. All these years. I had a long tote. Of course, it's in a newer tote now. It's in a different one because I did go through and eliminate a bunch of, like music books that I no longer need and things like that. But all of my stuff that I've written over the years has stayed with me for years. Through the narcissistic marriage, through all narcissistic situations. Why do you think that is? Exactly, part of my purpose. Part of my purpose. That's why I still have those. That's why God had me get the boombox that has a cassette player and a CD player so I can convert those to MP3 and bring them to y'all. We're bringing them to life. Remember, Jesus said he is the way, the truth, and life. We're not to be sitting on our talent and gifts like that. He said, I need you to get something out there. Plus, we're working on some new stuff. He said, no, that's the reason why. That tote that had all my material in it stayed divinely protected all those years because any of those narcissists, they could have. but they could not touch it. They knew they weren't allowed to. Plus, it was always out of sight for them, right? It's always out of sight, out of mind for the narcissist. So that long toad, it slid right under my bed. That's where it stayed for a long time. In several different places that I inhabited for a time or so. But once we got here and we get to a certain place, we've already got some in the My Song playlist. Those are just simple copyright recording for the melody just to get them copyrighted. At some point, a lot of those are going to be revamped. There is nothing that can stop that. And God has us getting what we need to do that. And so, yeah, not to be sitting on that stuff. So that's for somebody. It's all part of the rejuvenating process. The rejuvenating process, learning something new. Right? I got a lot of how-to videos I'm gonna have to for a particular program that's on phone that I'm gonna need to use to do the recording. Because small space living, I can't exactly do. I'm looking forward to the day that I can, though. Because years ago, that's how I did it. I had a keyboard, I had the computer software, I had the headset, I had the mic, I had it all to record those that y'all can hear on the playlist on this channel. I had it all back then. And the Lord said, yeah, he said, you know how he restored even better, right? Going forward in the future. He said, but for right now, you learn to work with what you had. That's for somebody. Who am I talking to right there? You got to learn to work with what you have. And thank you. As far as putting out a CD of my song, we're going to see where God takes us. So, well, the fridge looks like the old one because it's the same brand, but it is much quieter, I can tell you that. It's not honest. But yes, thank you. There you go. That's what I'm saying, y'all. She had that conversation with God yesterday, checking what tools you already have on hand to work with what you have to get started. And then you'll know you'll have to get some new ones for the things that you're going to plan. Of course, that's a natural part of the process, but to get started, to get started, to get organized, you're already going to have at least 3 things. As you rejuvenate, you're already going to have 3 things to get started on whatever it is God has introduced you to that is part of your purpose. And so, that's right. Exactly. Rejuvenate, brushing up on skill, sharpening those skills. Exactly. Because we do chosen ones. Remember, because we were in narcissistic abuse situation where our dreams and goals things got put on the back burner for so many years. And God's like, yeah, now it's the front burner. God said, the last shall be first and the first shall be last. And now we bringing it all forward. And he said, that's not going to be forever. He said, they ain't. Those evildoers. You also remember that, right, Jesus tells us that he is going to restore our wounds and our health because they called us an outcast. They try to sit there. They called us Zion, right? And they're trying to say that no man seeketh us. Well, y'all know that's a lie, right? Because the devil is a liar. A lot of people out here seeking God's spiritual truth, seeking this kind of motivation, seeking this kind of righteous guidance in the right direction, and getting the heightened awareness and the education about how this matrix out here is full of deception. Because all the enemy wants is to try and steal, kill, and destroy. That's it. Because the world has that love of money. That's the root of all evil. Because the world. But you got to be paying attention because a lot of these people don't even know that that's what they're doing. They don't even know they're demonically possessed. Because demonic possession comes in many forms, y'all. Demonic possession can be that professional person sitting behind that desk, all calm and collected, and telling you, right, like you could say something in general. It's like, well, no, not an emergency, but I just want to let you know. And you can say something like, I'm not expecting it today. I mean, eventually, it's not a big deal. I've got to work around. It's just wanting to give y'all a heads up. And then they come around with the false hope of, oh, well, they probably will do it today because I'm putting in the order right now. Okay. Yeah, not going to fall for that false hope. But you got to remember something. That person that said it, they don't even know. They crept in unaware that they're doing that. Trying to instill that false hope, that future faking. I knew darn well they weren't going to come look at the appliance that very day. No. But anyhow, so that's what I'm saying. Heightened awareness, y'all. Watch out for that stuff. Don't allow it to get your hopes up. Don't allow it. You be like, oh, okay. Because you already know common sense, heightened awareness, and you know how the matrix works. And so we learn when it's time to put a cap on it too, right? Right. No, Zion doesn't mean outcast, y'all. That's okay. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. My bad. Hold on a second. Let me see if it will do this way. Okay. Right, because we talked about it. Okay, yeah, Jeremiah 30, verse 17. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 17. Part of the rejuvenating process, right? For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord. Because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. They say that, but it's a lie. Because the devil is a liar. Okay? So there you go. Let me clarify. That's Jeremiah 30, verse 17. And love to spite you in the admin department. Oh, yeah. And thank you, Chris. Yes. Now, I don't know job worth or demonic possession. Well, not everybody that works inside the matrix is demonically possessed. That's why we need the discernment and the awareness. Okay, everybody, it's time to take another quick short break. I mentioned it earlier how we make real world connection to the spiritual realm on our Patreon channel. So stay tuned for the wrap up about the rejuvenating process and why it's important and why God said to rejuvenate as part of the do-over season and beyond when we come back.
CHA's Patreon membership channel is another place you can support this ministry and work for as little as $5 a month. When you become a member of CHA's Patreon membership channel, you will unlock access to a lot of content that will help you purge that subconscious mind of worldly garbage to make room for more of God's wisdom. We have been lied to since birth about a lot of things. On CHA's Patreon membership channel, we make real-world connection to the spiritual realm and more. The link to CHA's Patreon membership channel is listed on the My Social page of the website at cdhrwdrmd.org. Also linked in the description below. Thank you for becoming a loyal member of CHA's Patreon channel. Sending love and light always.
Yes, I was looking at my note, making sure we ain't missing nothing. All right. So there you go, everybody. Yeah. You got to just kind of keep on keeping on. Got to rejuvenate. Let God guide your step. Okay. A job worth is an overzealous official that deliberately gets in the way or abuses their position out of spite. I gotcha. Okay. Thank you because I have never heard that term, but yeah, if they are doing that, they're being overzealous and deliberately getting in the way or abusing their position out of spite, then yes, they are demonically possessed. Absolutely, because that's a narcissist, right? And we know that narcissists are what? Exactly. Demonically possessed. And remember, a lot of them don't even know it. And they really are, y'all got to remember, they're very talented at pretending that they've got empathy. Because they've got a little bit of worldly knowledge and maybe a hint of common sense, but it doesn't go very far. And you got to remember, a lot of them out here are only as skilled as they've been trained. That's part of the matrix, that perfect programming. That, right, I mean, in order for the matrix to keep all its flying monkey narcissists in line, yeah, but see, while they're doing that, chosen ones are over here getting rejuvenated. We're getting restored 100-fold, everything all the way around. Not from our health, renewing of the mind. Let me tell you, it's fascinating. It's wonderful. Oh, yeah. And so when God levels us up, that's it. And you know, all part of that discernment. Right, it's an English term, like a little like a Hitler type of thing in the workplace. Gotcha. I was kind of thinking, yeah, because I was like, we don't use that word here. Yeah, not that I know of. But, yeah, they are, well, yeah, we call them narcissists. That's what they are. And you got to remember that when they do that, we've all dealt with something like that. Oh, gosh, yes. Even yours truly. And for the life of me, at the time, I was like, why does he do that? Like, right in the middle of rush hour, here I am at this cash register, other worker at that cash register, and we're handling things just fine during rush hour. But boy, the general manager sent back there, and he just could not stand it. He had to come up and get all in our space and deliberately try to get in the way. And I was like, why is he doing that? Now we know why. Because he's a narcissist. He's a busybody. He had to be up in there. He had to try to cause some sort of friction or chaos and drama. Because it was rush hour and he needed an adrenaline rush. There you go. Yep, it was rush hour and he needed an adrenaline rush. Anywho, chosen one keep rejuvenating. You never know where their sense of humor or alchemist humor. Yeah, and they are. But chosen ones, we're not busybody. We stay busy with what God has us working on. And we keep doing what God calls us to do. We keep showing up. Remember, he who endureth till the end shall be saved. Well, our soul has already been saved. Now we just got to keep on keeping on. Keeping our loins girded about in truth. In God's truth, in God's reality, so we can continue to do all to keep standing up in the Lord. That's right. We ain't out here walking with our head down. Oh, no, chosen one. I mean, sure, we're watching where we're walking, of course. But if you notice, here's your homework. I want y'all to take a look and observe this. Many of y'all have seen this and are seeing this, but pay attention to this as you're out and about. How many out there, not necessarily, no, they don't have this in their hands. A lot of them do. But take a look at the ones who don't. And they're walking, let's say on the sidewalk or what have you. And they've got their shoulders hunched over and their head, they're just looking down to the ground as they walk. Yeah, that's the reward of the wicked. I mean, why are they doing that? They don't look up. Very few people ever look up unless they're looking for something or inspecting something. But I'm talking on average. Majority of the people, when they walk looking down. Which is what the devil wants you to see. Never forget that. And so, yeah, chosen ones, we ain't got time, nor do we care to be up in anybody else's business. We're letting God do the rejuvenating. We are letting God rejuvenate us. He's rejuvenating us from the inside out. You just wait. Because I hear the Spirit of the Lord say you ain't seen nothing yet. Woo! Woo-hoo! Yeah. God said you ain't seen nothing yet. But when you look in the mirror and what you're looking at right now, he says you ain't seen nothing yet. Because he says, I'm restoring you. Remember, we just read Jeremiah 30, verse 17, right? He says, I am restoring your health and healing thy wounds. So, well, yeah, Job, well, the way you described it, right, is a busybody. You know, and I am not going to, I am not going to respond to that because, yeah, we don't ask God for money like that. No, we pray that God will make sure that we have what we need, pay our bill, put clothes on our back, and then because we know that God is restoring and that we will receive. We don't need to ask God for that. If you think you need to ask God for money, you on the wrong team. You don't need to ask God for money. You should just know that you got it. Because God is a promise keeper. Remember, the subconscious mind is programmable. So you got to pray, but don't be asking God. Don't be asking God for money. He's not gonna answer you. Because you got to trust and believe. It's like God, walking and living by faith is knowing and trusting and believing that God will always provide because he always does, always has, always will. But if you're sitting there asking God for money, he's not going to respond. Because that signals the love of money. I will pray for and ask God for forgiveness. That's what we ask God for. We ask God for guidance. We ask God for clarity. We ask God for more of his knowledge. We ask God for more of his revelation. But don't be asking him for that. Don't be asking him for money. Because God, if you are paying attention and you know God's voice as part of that rejuvenating process, you know his voice, then you're going to hear when he says, this and that. He's going to give you that vision. He's going to show you. You got to have that vision. He's going to show you. He said, yeah, this is what you're going to have next. What you tell yourself. And that subconscious mind. But yeah, I'm going to end on that note right there. Because that signals the love of money. Okay. And negative. Right? See how we keep right. They got banned. Because you don't come on in here and be saying, oh, well, yeah, tell God. No, I ain't got to tell God nothing. That's between you and him. But it sounds to me like anybody who thinks they got to ask God for money, you ain't even got to ask it. You don't even have access to God if you think you got to ask him for money. You've been denied access because you ain't got Jesus. And exactly, 100% lack of faith if you think you got to ask God for money. Because we already know God provided. So, there you go. That's it. Part of the rejuvenating, the renewing of the mind is that we learn. We don't ask God for that. We don't ask God for money. We ask God for help. We ask God for the guidance. We ask God, okay, what do you need us to work on today? I ask God all the time, what message do you need me to deliver on your behalf? And that's why he said Motivational Monday, said I need you to tell him, I said rejuvenate. Some of y'all need to rest a little bit. Rest. But always be thinking about, okay, get that vision, write it down, but relax. There you go, everybody. Yep, divine provider. God is a divine provider. So drop that in the comments, even on the replay, y'all. God is a divine provider. Glory be to God. All right, everybody, that wraps up this Motivational Monday message. And I know that some of y'all aren't going to like to hear that truth about asking God for money. Don't you be doing it. He's not going to hear you. I mean, he hears you, but he's not going to respond to that. Because he's like, I'm already providing. I'm already providing. Where's your faith? There you go. All right, everybody, so keep on keeping on and keep on rejuvenating. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.